Hey guys, what is going on? My name is Whisper, and today I have for you is another CSGO Players You Meet video. And before I begin this, though, I want to preface this and say that I'm sorry I haven't made a video in like 2 weeks. I haven't really felt like making videos recently. I've been playing a lot of like games. I've been playing some single player stuff like Final Fantasy and been practicing and grinding on Melee. But I really apologize for that. I just haven't really felt like making videos. But today I got up, felt motivated to make a video, and here we are. CSGO Players You Meet, the Smurf. I guess before I begin, I should specify that there are two types of quote-unquote Smurfs when you play. There is the Smurf who actually plays the game and who is a higher ranked player playing on a friend's or an alternative account that has or may not have prime matchmaking. And then there is the, in air quotes, Smurf, who is a random guy who is playing on his main account and who is using the excuse, I'm smurfing, bro, I'm not trying, when he's going like 0-8 or some shit like that. And while I really hate the second person, the air quotes Smurf, I'm gonna save that person for a separate video because I really don't want to I could make an entire video based off of both these type of people. So I'm just gonna talk about the actual Smurf in this video. Oh boy, there is so much shit I can say about this individual or these individuals who Smurf. You've got to be some of the most obnoxious fucking players in the entire game. And you know, I don't run into these people very often anymore. It's maybe one in every like 20 games at this point because prime matchmaking makes it so much fucking easier to not have to deal with these pricks. But honestly, these people piss me off more than any other type of player in CSGO. Back when prime matchmaking wasn't a thing, and you were forced to just queue with whoever the game matched you up with, Smurfs ran rampant from the ranks of like Silver 1 to MG2 to DMG, around that area. Anywhere from that area, you could run into Smurfs, and it was about a 50-50 bet that you would or wouldn't run into Smurfs. And I'm going to be really fucking honest. Running into Smurfs honestly ruins the game. It ruins the experience of playing CSGO. Thank God prime matchmaking is implemented into the game, and you no longer run into Smurfs once every 2 games. I remember I went on like a 6-game loss streak playing against Smurfs where two of their 5 like top fraggers had like less than 100 hours in CSGO, and they had like over 30 kills and just raffle stomped us. And I think the biggest, most annoying thing about Smurfs is the shit that they say in chat. Shit like, why are you so bad? We are just so much better than you. And we want to play for fun. And if anything, we are helping you learn the game. And the last 2 comments, I'm actually going to talk about why they're complete and utter bullshit. First, I want to address the we just want to play for fun comment. I actually am so angered by this comment, or I used to be, because now I don't hear this shit anymore. Thank God. Praise Gaben for fucking prime matchmaking. But anyways, this shit used to make me so fucking angry for so many different reasons. The primary reason being that these people do not consider that they are actually toxic to the game state. Aside from just being normally toxic in chat, which like 90% of Smurfs are, I will tell you this right now. The act of smurfing is toxic in a competitive game that has a ranking system. And that's because that completely fucks the ranking of every other player in the game. Here's how it works. When you have people who are playing at a higher level who come down and play on an alternative account that's on a lower level, they in turn make the people who they are playing against D-rank even if they deserve that rank. Of course, these players genuinely don't give a fuck about the state of the ranked system in CSGO on their, alternative accounts or what they're potentially causing in the community of lower ranked players. They only give a fuck about their higher ranked account. So these are also the types of people who will complain, moan, and bitch the entire time when they're playing on their main account, and they run into Smurfs 3 games in a row and are just like, this is why I can't get out of my rank. But in turn, they're also probably causing the same fucking issues because they're smurfing themselves. They're just causing it at a different ranking. And like I said, smurfing may not be really that relevant anymore in CSGO, but I wanted to get this out there and explain something. Smurfing is still toxic. I feel bad for the people who don't have Prime matchmaking because they don't have like a phone number to associate their Steam ID with, because that shit probably would be the most toxic thing in CSGO at this point. Like, it'd be worse than any type of flaming, any type of the people that I've talked about in CSGO, meeting them every game. I would rather run into a toxic furry or a toxic weeb or, you know, a certified opper every game rather than having to deal with Smurfs every game. Even if the Smurfs are nice Smurfs and aren't like dicks, whether it be on the enemy team or my team. And that's because Smurfing genuinely takes away the fun of CSGO at a certain skill category. I think part of the reason I genuinely got involved in CSGO is because of how fun it was. Like, consider this, I had friends who were actively encouraging me to play CSGO for, you know, several months before I actually played. They were just like, yeah, Whisper, you should play CSGO, come on man, it's really, really fun. And I was like, alright, one of these days I'll actually sit down and I'll play it. And I did, and I started playing deathmatch, and I just, you know, had some fun, and then I played a comp game, and in, like, my third comp game, it came down to, like, a game that ended up being 16-14 in our favor, and it was, like, a 1v1, me versus the last person, and it, like, my heart had never rushed so much in, like, a competitive game in so long. Like, aside from maybe, like, Melee that I've recently had experience with, I've never had my heart race that much. And I genuinely feel like it's a very much skill-orientated competitive game. There aren't many random aspects that, you know, take away from the game. Obviously, you can have shitty teammates, and you can't exactly carry those every game, but you can genuinely outskill most of the players that you play against, and you can solo carry games. Unlike where in a game like, for example, League of Legends, where if your teammates feed, you know, like, and make a Master Yi player like 17-0, he's gonna blow you up. That's just it. You can't do anything about it. You can't carry the game. That's just it. Whereas CSGO is so much raw skill. It is very much a skill-orientated game. And, you know, any player can genuinely disagree with me on that, whether it be high-ranked player or low-ranked player, as long as they can back it up. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, whether you agree or disagree. But I'm going to say that that's genuinely why I got involved in CSGO in the first place, and why I got hooked on it, was because of how skillful you had to be. You could carry a game, you could solo carry a game, get, you know, 30 to 40 kills, and carry your team to victory if you are good enough. At first, when I first started playing CSGO, I didn't really feel the effects of smurfing. I didn't really pay that much attention. I was kind of just focused on ranking up and playing the game for fun. But when I really started to, you know, put time into it and try and work towards getting into, like, the Nova range, I began to notice the amount of smurfs. And looking back on it, I remember seeing so many smurfs when I was playing in Silver to Silver Elite Master. Like, I genuinely experienced so much smurfing, but I didn't really realize it because I was just focused on playing the game primarily for fun. I still play the game primarily for fun, but, like, it is fun to compete and, you know, try and win the game and rank up and shit like that. But I genuinely didn't, like, realize the amount of smurfs I was running into. When I first started playing, I really didn't notice the effects of smurfing. I really didn't see that many smurfs, and that's probably because I just wasn't paying attention at the time. I played the game primarily for fun, not necessarily to rank up. I was just trying to play to get better at the game, not to rank up or anything like that, so I didn't pay much attention to my rank. I kind of just played the game, and if I ranked up, it was like cool, and if I ranked down, I was like, oh, well, this kind of sucks. But for a while there, I didn't really notice that until I hit, you know, like around the Silver Elite Master to like Nova 2 rank. And then I really started to feel the effects of smurfing. I started to notice there were games where I'd top frag and I'd do really well, but I couldn't win the game, or there were other times where I'd just do complete shit and my team would get the shit stomped out of them, and I couldn't figure out why until I started to realize these people were smurfing on alternative accounts and playing, you know, just for the lulz and ruining the experience for other players. Like, I could go on for another like 5 or 10 minutes about, you know, why smurfing and playing just for fun on alternative accounts ruins the experience for, you know, the lower ranked players that you're playing against, or even with, if you're playing alone. But I'm cutting this video very long. It's like already almost 10 minutes long, so I should go ahead and move on to the next topic. The second comment that I wanted to address are the people who say, playing against Smurfs is a learning experience. You should be happy that you get to learn from playing against Smurfs. I have never met people who are this fucking stupid. Yes, you can learn against Smurfs. That's what I genuinely believe. If you're playing against someone who is at a higher skill level than you are, you can learn from them. However, here's the honest truth about playing CSGO or any competitive game. When you're at a pretty low rank, and I'll just use CSGO as an example, but this can be applied to League or anywhere else. If you're like a silver player, like a silver 3 or a silver 4, playing against MG2 players, you will not learn anything. And I'm going to tell you why. You won't learn anything for the reason that you aren't going to be focused on playing the game. You will be focused on being angry that you're getting your shit pushed in by these players who say, playing against a Smurf is a learning experience. You should be happy that you get to play against us and learn against us. Like, I don't think these people actually realize the consequences of the shit that they do. That every other rank below the rank that they're smurfing at is actually getting more players from a skill rank that shouldn't be there in that rank because of them doing this shit. Of course, this, is so much less of a problem since Prime matchmaking, so you could just say, oh, you're just bitching about nothing right now. But I still think smurfing is bad. I still think smurfing is a negative experience. It makes people quit the game. This is one thing that I'll say. I have gone on and off of playing CSGO. There's a reason I took like a 2-month hiatus during the last couple months of school, not just because of final projects and shit. It was because I genuinely wasn't enjoying the game with the amount of Smurfs that I was running into. There were so many of them. It was so rampant, even more rampant than a 50-50. I genuinely felt like after each time I queued into the game that I was going to run into a Smurf and that I was going to lose that game. I began to feel so negative about the game. So the point that I'm trying to push here is that smurfing overall is toxic to CSGO. It isn't, the players who are Smurfs that are toxic necessarily, but most of them are. Most of them are really fucking big dicks. But the act of smurfing itself is innately toxic to any competitive game, and it specifically applies to CSGO. And the reason I think about this is because CSGO has more Smurfs per capita than any other game. At least, it used to. I can't really say that smurfing so much isn't an issue for most players of the game, but it still is an issue, even though only like 10% of players who aren't Smurfs, don't use Prime matchmaking. But anyways, I think I've rambled enough about smurfing. I'm just going to go ahead and get into the segment, how to know if you're this person. You know if you're a Smurf if you play on an alternative account or a friend's account to boost them and play just for fun on that account or play less seriously on that account than on like your main account.
Invincible.
You also know if you're a Smurf if when playing on these alternative accounts, you are acting like a dick to the other people on the enemy team, i.e. calling them bad or making fun of them that they're not as good when they're trying to improve at the game and you're not helping them at all. This third and final thing might not necessarily indicate if you are a Smurf, but if you genuinely think smurfing is okay, then you are supporting something that is toxic to the entire game state of any competitive game. Of course, that's just my opinion. People will, have the right to disagree with me. Leave it in the comment section down below if you do. I'm more than willing to, debate about this in the comment section. I try to respond to everything that I possibly can in the comment section. But, yeah, those are the ways to know if you are a Smurf, or I guess support a Smurf in this case. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. It ran quite a bit longer than I hoped it would originally. I was trying to go for something a lot shorter, but I ended up getting caught in explaining why I think the entire ordeal is bad. But hope you guys still enjoyed this video. My name is Whisper, and I'm out. Peace.